Greetings, Joseph Kursky here with you to talk about business site selection using Business Analyst Web App. Business Analyst Web App. It's a SaaS-based solution, so online, nothing to install. In the last video, we looked at regional business patterns. In red, Casey's convenience store chain. Look at the distribution there. In blue, Allsup's convenience store chain. Notice that they don't overlap much. And in this particular lesson, which is on the ESRI Business Education landing page, if you look there, ESRI Business Education landing page, you'll see my lesson for citing a convenience store in Columbia, Missouri. So if we zoom to Columbia, we'll see that several Casey's already exist. How do we get this? Because we went to Business Analyst Web App and we searched for points of interest and we looked for businesses. We looked for convenience stores and specifically Casey's convenience store. It used to be called Casey's General Store. And we're going to zoom into Columbia and we're going to create a drive time buffer. We can also create walk time for certain kind of businesses. Walk time is better for certain other kinds. Rings is actually better. Here, drive time. Convenience stores, people are not willing to drive very far for a convenience store for many reasons you could talk to your students about. So I'm going to go to 3. How about, well, let's just do this. 2, 4, and 6 minute drive times. You can do this for all the convenience stores for Casey's in Columbia. So we've done that. We can see that. And again, a nice instructional moment. Why aren't these rings? Why do we have these sort of arms that go out? Well, because certain streets are signed as higher speed, so you can get farther in 2, 4, and 6 minutes. Now we can look for that particular business and run an infographic. This is a very powerful tool, one of my favorite things about Business Analyst Web. And we can get the 2, 4, and 6 minute infographics for the different existing Casey's. Notice that one of the Casey's, for 6 minutes in particular, you get a very large contingent of 20-somethings. Why would that be? We always ask the whys of where in these questions. It's never just about the clicking of the GIS tools. Well, because Columbia, Missouri is the home, as many of you know, of the University of Missouri. Hey, go Tigers! So you've got a lot of 20-somethings. Not that everybody at the university is a 20-something or an early 20-something, but it certainly is a big contingent of the town. It's a college town in many respects. So you get 6 minutes from that one Casey's, and it would be nice to label these so they don't all say Casey's. So you can go and redo the sites and site name, call it Casey's A, B, and C, or something else that's more descriptive. I'm going to zoom in on these infographics. Notice that every one of these is clickable. Every element is clickable. That's what makes these infographics so compelling and so wonderful as a teaching and research tool. You've got the ability to turn on, turn off, as I'm doing here, and analyze these elements in more detail as you click on them. So they're dynamic infographics. They're not static at all. I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the 4 and 6 minutes for each one of these and simplify the infographic. And there I've got now the 2-minute drive time for each one of these. Wow, fascinating to be able to do this. Notice the difference in the age pyramid, the income, the behaviors, the consumer preferences. As we talked about last time, we really want to zoom in on and focus on certain behaviors in convenience stores. Lottery tickets, coffee, gas, soft drinks, and things that people actually buy at convenience stores. Wonderful to be able to compare these areas. And remember, these areas are the 2-minute drive times from the Casey's. I can also export this in an Excel spreadsheet or a PDF, as you can see there. So lots of options here. Wow. So now I can see that the southwest corner of the community of Columbia is actually not covered by a Casey's. So if I had as an assignment a edict or a mandate or a requirement from headquarters saying, hey, we want you to cite the best locations for a new Casey's in Columbia, where would you put it? Maybe based on these drive times and these consumer preferences, you say, well, the area in the southwest part of the city, closer to the university, is actually not served by a Casey's. Maybe we need to focus there. Why would university students want to go to a Casey's? Maybe some of them, I didn't have a car for part of my undergraduate career. Gas is not important, but maybe for some of them, these other things are important. Picking up a snack or something, an apple, a granola bar, or whatever on their way to class, etc. a coffee, and so on. So this whole area right here that I'm zooming in on is not covered by an existing Casey's. But what about competition? We can look at the competition, Circle K, 7-Eleven. Maybe there's a Circle K and a 7-Eleven near or in the southwest part of the city, and maybe that's why there's no Casey's there. We can also save these sites. You can choose a layer or create a new layer right here as I'm indicating. It could be Casey's sites in Columbia, Missouri. So that's going to be a layer now that you can go back to once you exit your Business Analyst Web App session, active session. You can create a layer and then go back to it. In your table of contents, as I'm doing here, I'm going to manage my items, and notice I can go back and there's my Casey's layer right there. Great. Okay, we have done quite a bit of analysis here. Again, this is just a idea planting session. You can do much more than this that I'm going through in this short demo, but I'm hoping you're getting a sense of, you know what, these tools are pretty intuitive. It's online. There's nothing to install. There's loads of documentation aside from this video about where these variables came from, how to do this spatial analysis, how to map the businesses, how to create an infographic. And also, remember, this is all part of this dynamic ArcGIS Online enabled environment inside Business Analyst Web. You have the ability of going to the actual sites of these. And if I go there and put the imagery as the base layer, I can see what the existing sites look like. What is the imprint of the store? Where is the store? Where are the gas pumps, etc.? So if I go there, I can see what these businesses actually look like on the ground. I'm going to turn off those other layers so I'm just seeing the base map. And I can see that it's not far from I-70, which is a major thoroughfare. Actually, not a thoroughfare. It's a freeway running through the middle of Columbia, running from Kansas City on the west to St. Louis on the east. Okay, so now if I zoom into that location, what areas of the city are these Casey's located? Are some of them in residential areas? Are some of them in business or industrial areas? So commercial, industrial, residential, where are they? And look, we've got traffic counts here as well, so that is a major factor in locating not just a convenience store, but other kinds of stores as well. So we can look at the traffic counts here, and that's another powerful thing that you can do. Again, I think one of the advantages of Business Analyst Web is that you have the layers and the data bundled in the tool. You don't have to go searching in ArcGIS Online. Not that you couldn't do that here and bring in that data from ArcGIS Online, and indeed that's the subject of another video. But inside the tool, you have access to the variables. So here I can see, and I can change these symbols if I don't like these symbols, but notice the traffic counts on selected roads. Very important for certain kinds of businesses, convenience stores being a prime example, because I've walked to convenience stores, you've probably walked to convenience stores, but typically they're a driven kind of thing. They could also be located near a bus line or a train line, a mass transit line like a light rail, certainly. But they're oftentimes driven too. So drive times and the traffic counts are quite important. Notice here that I can bump up, I can change the symbology if I don't like these symbols. If I choose to, I can do that right here. So lots of capabilities here. But Business Analyst Web App, it has the data bundled in and a small number of tools, drive time buffers, infographics, some analysis tools in here that you can actually do void analysis and other things. So again, the data's there. You can also look at different levels of geography. As I was indicating a moment ago, you've got census tracts, block groups, zip codes, congressional districts, counties, states. And you also, as I indicated in another video, have the capability of doing this kind of thing in other countries. Certainly, depending on the country, you'll have different levels of geography available. You'll have different layers available. You'll have different consumer preferences, but I'm going to look at the traffic counts now going over to St. Louis, and you can see a lot higher as we get into that big metro area with the interstate highways showing up pretty predominantly, I-70 and others in the St. Louis area. Business Analyst Web App for citing a store inside a lesson, which is part of the ESRI Business Education landing page. I hope you find this intriguing and want to go further. Thanks for watching.